Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into something called Shin-shin-toitsu-do. It's a Japanese discipline that promises not just a healthier body, but a way more powerful and, well, integrated way of living. And this whole philosophy, it was born from one man's desperate search for a cure. And it all starts with a single, really powerful idea.
But let's get one thing straight. This isn't about some new workout routine or a quick life hack. To really get it, you first have to understand the Japanese concept of a do, which means a way. The idea is that if you go super deep into one specific discipline, it could be anything, like calligraphy or even flower arranging. You start to uncover these universal truths that apply to, well, everything. It's a philosophy for the art of living itself, learned through dedicated practice.
And that brings us to Shin-shin-toitsu-do, which literally means the way of mind and body unification. Now, what's so cool about this is that it flips the whole traditional approach on its head. Instead of using a specific art to find those universal principles, it starts directly with the universal principles for living. And to understand how that's even possible, we've got to look at the incredible, almost unbelievable life of its founder.
So let me introduce you to Nakamura Tempu Sensei. He was born into an aristocratic family, a master of judo and swordsmanship, a total prodigy. But here's the thing. Despite all that incredible discipline, he was plagued by this just violent temper. And then something way, way worse hit him, a severe case of tuberculosis, which back then was an absolute death sentence.
And this guy was relentless. He traveled the entire globe, just desperately searching for a cure. He went to the United States and actually got a medical degree, but he couldn't heal himself. He studied philosophy and personal growth in England and dove into the brand new field of psychology all across Europe. But it didn't matter what he learned, it didn't matter what body-oriented cure he tried, nothing worked. He was still coughing up blood.
So he's at the end of his rope. He's tried every known physical cure out there, and he has this massive realization. For years, he'd been focused completely on his body. But what if the answer wasn't in his body at all? He decided to turn his search inward, to the one place he hadn't really, truly explored, his own mind.
This new path took him all the way to India and eventually to a remote yoga encampment on Mount Kanchenjunga. We're talking the third highest mountain in the world. And it was there that he met a teacher named Kalyapa, who would just completely shatter everything he thought he knew about healing and knowledge.
Kalyapa's teaching method, it was severe. He didn't give any easy answers. Instead, he just constantly challenged Nakamura, breaking down his dependence on what other people knew. In fact, Kalyapa told him his illness was a gift, a blessing in disguise, because it had forced him to stop looking for answers out there and to finally confront the true nature of his own existence.
And that led to Nakamura's great revelation. He realized that after all his travels, all his studies, all he had really done was collect second-hand knowledge. He was just memorizing other people's descriptions of the truth. He'd never actually seen the truth for himself, and he knew in that moment that was the entire key.
And this distinction, it's everything. Second-hand knowledge is just clinging to a description of the truth. It's actually an obstacle. Direct experience, on the other hand, is seeing it for yourself, right here, right now. As soon as Nakamura really got this, he just dropped his quest for more external information, and by looking within, he discovered the universal principles for himself. He returned to Japan in 1919, completely cured. So back in Japan, Nakamura took this profound, life-changing experience and he synthesized it into a system that anyone, you, me, anyone could use. He called it Shin-shin-toitsu-do, and he built the whole thing on 4 simple universal principles. And here they are. But I want you to notice the order here, because it's absolutely deliberate. The mind always comes first. Just like he had learned in the most powerful way possible, the mind moves the body. Everything starts with using your mind positively and with full concentration. Only then can the body be used naturally and trained effectively. These 4 things are the bedrock of his entire teaching. Now, central to all of this is the concept of ki. And let's be super clear, this is not some mystical, supernatural force. In this way of thinking, ki is the fundamental life energy. It's like the connective tissue of the universe that everything is made from. It's not invisible or hiding somewhere. It's literally everything. You are ki. The air you're breathing is ki. The sound you're hearing right now is ki.
Okay, so to make this less abstract and more tangible, Nakamura came up with these really simple but profound experiments. They show you directly how the state of your mind impacts your body through the use of this ki. And the most famous one is known as orenai te,
or the unbendable arm. It's a simple but mind-blowing test. So first, you just tense your arm with pure muscle, right? Make a fist, flex everything. Then you have someone try to bend it, and it usually bends pretty easily. Okay, but then you relax your arm completely, and instead you visualize this powerful river of ki just flowing through your arm and extending out into the universe endlessly. When your partner tries again with the exact same amount of force, your arm becomes incredibly, ridiculously difficult to bend.
So what's going on here? Well, this reveals the crucial difference. When you tense your muscles, you're resisting. You're fighting back, creating a barrier. And honestly, it's inefficient and ultimately weak. But extending ki, that's an act of unification. You aren't fighting the force, you aren't withdrawing from it. You're harmonizing with it. And that harmony is the source of this immense, stable power.
When people feel this for the first time, their first reaction is usually just disbelief. I mean, it feels like magic, right? Almost supernatural. But Nakamura, with his background in Western medicine and science, he was very, very clear about what was actually happening.
He explained it's not magic, it's physiology. When you have an integrated use of a calm, focused mind and a relaxed body, you actually heighten the natural muscular power of your arm. The results might feel supernormal, way beyond what we normally experience, but they are not supernatural. It's just a demonstration of our real, untapped potential.
Okay, but this whole way isn't about doing impressive experiments or party tricks. The unbendable arm is just a tool. It's a way to help you feel a principle. The real goal, the whole point, is to apply that principle to every single moment of your life.
And this is where it gets really practical, right? You can't exactly start doing stretches in the middle of a tense business meeting. But you can quietly alter your posture, focus your mind, and find a state of unshakable calmness, and no one around you will even notice. That is the real art.
And practicing this leads to a pretty profound outcome. You start to cultivate what are called the 6 qualities of Toitsu. And this isn't just about feeling calm. It's about developing real, tangible, powerful life skills, physical strength, courage, good judgment, determination, vitality, and true dexterous ability.
In the end, Nakamura's entire teaching, born from that desperate search for health and that incredible revelation in the Himalayas, it can all be boiled down to this single powerful truth. It is the fundamental law of our own nature.
The core principle is so simple, but applying it, well, that's a lifelong practice. So, the question I want to leave you with is this. The mind moves the body. Where is your mind moving yours right now?